tuning into the Conspiracy Files podcast. Today we shall be delving into various topics that we feel are shrouded in mystery. So sit back and relax and let's just jump into it. Our first topic shall be the infamous reptilians. These beasts are some of the craftiest creatures that walk the earth, and they shouldn't be underestimated.
The reptilians conspiracy was started by a man called David Icke, one of them. Certainly with a name like that alone, makes me believe he's trustworthy. David insists that they possess the ability to shapeshift into ordinary people to blend in with society. He claims that they have taken over control of governments throughout this planet. He says they do this to maintain control of the planet. Being honest, for all we know, David could be a reptile himself, but we'll leave that to the FBI to decide.
Many of these so-called individuals, David claims, have been replaced by the shape-shifting reptile overlords, are Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bruce Bolton, the Queen of England, and the Orange Man himself, Donald Trump. Truly a terrifying thought to behold, and which is shaking in my seat right now. So, it's one thing to make these claims, but another to present viable proof of such acts. So let's watch this footage together. Let's get into that. A dark, mysterious tunnel, truly foreboding.
It looks a bit like you.
No. I would know. I'm a professional escape artist. That makes no sense for one of them.
What's that?
Truly shocking. Those boys are probably dead, unfortunate for them.
Aliens. Are they real? Yes. No. Maybe. We don't know. But I do. The name is Warwick Davis. I'm an alienologist. Definitely a real job title. I'm going to explain to you today every single part of this alien. I did have an encounter with an alien myself. This is the most accurate drawing I could come up with. I've given him the name, Steve. But there was more than one. Let's call him John. This, the think tank. We know it as a head. Very, very dangerous. This is where they do the telepathy. Yeah, the mind reading thing. It's all real. Scientists, I've been lying to you. I'm an alienologist. Different job. I don't lie. In the think tank, we have the blinkers, or as we know, eyes. Dangerous things. You see about a metre away. You don't want to mess with these guys. You don't want to be running away and then have them like staring at you. You don't want that. Below the think tank, swallow pipe. Even though they have no mouths, I don't know how they swallow or how they eat. Don't make much sense. But anyway, this swallow pipe, it can take on anything. You throw a punch at it, it absorbs it. So don't try it. This, the body, it has not been labelled because it's not that important. The probe inserter. This is where it builds up, you know. These are long noodle things. You get this thrown at you, you're not dodging it. It's so long. But this was a traumatic experience for me. Connected to the probe inserter. What's the probers? I gotta tell you something about these probers. These are their most dangerous tool they have, and it's connected to their body. They're very round, very circular, and they are not soft when they do it. See, they have these 5 dots on their hands. I didn't actually know what that was for. I was in too much pain. Legs, or as I've called them on this thing, stomp hole. They're not actually that special. Stomp things. These are massive. Elephant feet. I don't know how big an elephant's foot is, but it looks pretty big on the drawing. And as we know it's a bulge. So I've called it bulge. But this is Steve. I'm Warwick Davis, the alienologist. I'll catch you next time. John.
Yes, truly fascinating indeed. But I feel we have scratched the surface that we needed to of the aliens. So moving forward, I feel it's time to move on to one of the most important topics that you're probably ever going to get from this podcast. Topic 3. So, I see a common question being asked around whether Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. Well, I can't believe I really need to answer this question because it's pretty obvious. No, the answer is no. No, he didn't.
Well.
No, I know.
What are you on about? The moon landing.
I can see that you're clearly confused, so let me reveal the truth to your suppressed mind. So, let's get to one of the main points of why the moon landing was faked. The flak footage is now on screen showing you the video. As you can clearly see within the video, the flag is flapping in the wind. Wait. There's no wind on the moon. There's no air on the moon, so how can it flutter? Also, notice in this footage, there's no stars. Suspicious.
But.
Don't interrupt me. So I'm sure everyone is aware of the moon race, which was in full swing between America and the Soviet Union at the time. So basically, my conspiracy theory is when NASA were assigned this crucial task by the American government of faking the moon landing to salvage their pride. They knew that they needed to hire a professional filmmaker who was experienced in practical and special effects. Who is this director, you ask? Well, it's none other than Mr. Bay himself, Michael Bay.
Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry. What? Okay, you on board yet? What you on?
Well, it was widely known that Michael Bay is a mortal high being of power. NASA knew that he was God's gift, so simply they tasked him with this important task to see it through to the end. They gave him all the equipment he needed, but it wasn't enough for Mr. Bay. He simply insisted that they film on location, which is where the Apollo spacecraft comes in. This was done on purpose to get Michael Bay and his crew to the moon to film the fake moon landing. But everything, didn't go very well from there. It derailed from there and they came quickly under attack by alien invaders. That's right, aliens. Not
Just like what Warwick Davis faced.
Basically, but worse. Mr. Bay was the only survivor as he was able to escape from a rocket-propelled jetpack. He may have failed in his mission, but he at least had a sick idea for a new movie. So, from there on, NASA simply had to hire an amateur filmmaker called Stanley Kubrick. I think he was the director of The Matrix or something, I don't really know. So, they filmed the moon landing in some studio in Nevada. So, that's that.
You don't know?
Well, for now.
Right. Well, that's all we have today for today's. So tune in next time as we shall be discussing why the Mars is a cube.
Are we talking the Mars bar or the actual planet? Find out next time. We have found the alien in this video lost footage tapes as we reviewed in our podcast. Turns out it's actually an alien species, as we also have discussed in the podcast itself, known as the reptilians. These aliens can basically change form as they so choose it. We know this as we have a reptilian in our very studio. And before you sad, lonely, weird kids go to the comic section and saying how this is fake, well, you can't. We've disabled the comic section, so deal with it. Anyway, Damon is here and as our alien, so it is alien to see you. Anyway, Damon here is an alien. To be specific, he's a reptilian. Anything you like to say, Damon?
I can only change form if I eat the skin of a person. And then I can only become that person.
Okay.
I have nothing else to add, other than don't use my trigger word.
And what is your trigger word, might I inquire?
Jelly.
Your trigger word is jelly.
What the did I just say? Now I'm gonna have to eat you.
Well, that would be terribly unfortunate for me.
Focus.
Hey, that's pretty good.